And now we're back after a fantastic day of celebrations. And as Ada Crouch just says, we were on TV. As he goes, start of TV, Josh Lowe. Also got recognised for being on Talking Town earlier today as we were leaving Christchurch Park too. So that was fantastic.
Yep.
We are awaiting Everton have won 5-1 against Brighton, bloody hell.
Jesus.
We are awaiting a special guest. They will be on shortly. So once they appear, we shall get them on. I told him, AD, yeah. Whilst we wait, Ben, we may as well talk about Fleetwood yesterday. And we may as well talk a bit about today's celebrations as well. Let's start with Fleetwood. The lads were on the beach, right? Already. Just didn't turn up. Just didn't turn up, right?
Yeah, but final game, job was already done.
It's true, but do you not think you'd like a bit more passion considering there's still something on the line? Or?
I think deep down they probably knew that Port Vale beating Plymouth wasn't going to happen. Just because of the run Plymouth were on. So I think deep down they probably had that in the back of their minds.
I can see why you think that. But at the end of the day, they should know. They should also know that football's a funny game, and anything can happen. It wasn't the time we used to see it, that's for sure.
Definitely not first half.
They certainly didn't turn up, should we say? Even defensively, really, I thought 2 goals we conceded were very scrappy.
First person to score as well was a former
Jack
player.
Marriott twice as well. Yeah, Jack Marriott twice. Marcus Harness decided to come out from under his shell though and play well when he came on and get a goal.
Yeah, that sort of.
Whereas
not surprised me, but not really a goal scorer that you thought. Yeah.
Where's that Marcus Harness been for the last 2 months?
So, but then we've had Border, haven't we? So sort of hard.
But even when coming off the bench, he's been awful. So where's that Harness been for the last 2-3 months? Is what I want to know. If somebody turns up last game of the season and rescues a point for us, like where's this Harness been?
Yeah. I think you look at a lot of the times he's come on, the game's already been won. So it's sort of hard to get in the game, especially like when you come on at like 70 minutes, 80 minutes, whatever. The game's just dead, it's flat, nothing's really happening.
Yeah.
If you come on at like 60 minutes, 65 minutes, there's still a little bit something to play for. Well, not in our games recently. But
yeah, that is true. I agree, AD. Don't get me wrong. It's just annoying because I wish they'd just gone to the fight a little bit more for the title. But hey, we're like you said, Eddie. The job still got the job done. So hey, let's talk a bit about today.
What, right from the start? Or?
The celebrations in Christchurch Park. There was 10.5 Ipswich Town fans there. I saw. Which is a very decent turnout.
Weren't quite the 24,000 that per council were expecting, was
no, but 10,500 is still a very, very decent showing. Talk to me, because it's not quite what I expected, but it wasn't awful.
No, I think I was having this on the sort of like think to myself on the way walking back, like because we finished second, it was a little bit more sort of subdued. Obviously, if we'd have won the league, then this could have carried on for like what 2 weeks.
Something I'm going to touch on later when the guest arrives, but I'm going to touch on it now too. Is trophies for second place. Bin them off. How Tim Pot does win? How Tim Pot is that?
I've got another thing, but this is completely sort of off topic. As we were leaving, is what I was going on about.
All right.
Like, if you're selling flags,
oh God, yeah,
what that person was doing, you're not in bloody London. Bloody £8 for a flag. Jesus.
But tell me your opinion on second place trophies, because Sheffield United got one this season, and we've got one now. It's just bloody Tim Pot, isn't it? Like, come on.
It is, but it's another trophy that no one don't have. So
yeah, but you can just see when they got presented it earlier. No player really cared.
Oh,
didn't.
No, you didn't have to celebrate. You know, if we'd have came first, you'd have had bloody Wes Burns, Harry Clark, Wolford, and Nathan Broadhead all fucking served on.
Like, I watched them like when they passed the trophy around. Like, half the squad didn't care. Like, it's just.
Well, it only got to what Harry Clark did it.
That's what I mean. Like, no one else really sort of wanted it. It's like second place trophy. It's like, nah, you trying to take the piss or something? Like,
yeah.
Not for me. If you watch EFL, anyone from the EFL watching this, bin off second place trophies is absolutely pointless. Absolutely.
Could you imagine if someone from the EFL was watching? Fucking hell, we'd get banned.
Three trophies. All 3 teams that go up win trophies. Do you know how bad that is?
Do you reckon if that's like obviously League 2 is a little bit different because 3 teams come up automatically. So what? It's a trophy for each team that goes up.
Well, it seems like it,
and
don't
then
it?
You've got a playoff team.
Seems like it, don't it?
Really?
Second place trophies, bin them off. Not they shouldn't be.
I thought the community champion was good. Obviously, yeah, you know what I've gone through. Everyone else knows what I've gone through.
That is true, Eddie. And the medals were presented from a cardboard box, for goodness sake. Very Tim Pot. Yeah. It's very true. They were. Yeah, they were. I'd completely forgotten about that. Yeah, genuinely were. I mean, listen, I think the players have done their celebrating by then because they didn't seem as excited and as happy as they have been. I think they've done their celebrations.
Clearly.
It was quite obvious. Like today, it was a nice touch. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, it should have been done the Monday after the promotion because the players didn't want to. The players just didn't seem like wanted to know today.
True. The one thing that sort of not annoyed me, but sort of like did in a way. Obviously, community champion, battle leukemia. Like, what did she then just sort of sat there, didn't get interviewed, sort of like talk through your experience and whatever, what the club means to you.
I mean, she's 12. She probably doesn't.
I know, but what I'm saying is, like, you could have sort of involved her a bit to sort of build up on stage.
Well, our guest is backstage, Ben. So we'll pause that conversation because
we will.
We're gonna review our season and Plymouth season because my guest Cornish Jana has arrived.
Hi guys, how are we?
Jack, welcome, man.
Hello, no, honestly, no. Thank you for having me on. No, apologies, I'm a bit late. Literally got caught up in the freaking rain in Plymouth right now, and then I need a massive shower to make sure I was ready. So my hat is soaking, but no, How was your promotion parade party today, guys, for Ipswich?
It was okay, but you know, it could be better.
Oh,
I'm sure
fair
yours
enough.
was better. Sure, yours was better because you're celebrating the title.
Yeah.
I mean, probably maybe in that aspect, but like it just in general, just for the whole city and the region, it's just incredible. So I can't wait to basically upload it to the channel, really. So no, it was special. That's all I can say. It was special.
Jack, we were just talking about the second place trophies and how tin pot they were. I want your opinion on
second place trophy. I mean,
because we got presented with one today, and I'm just thinking, what?
Did you really? Oh my god! I don't remember us getting presented one in 2017 when we lost the Blimmin' League to Portsmouth on the last day.
I think they're new things, but our opinion,
it sounds tin pot, but at least on the plus side is that the main thing is you're promoted, and that's the most important goal if you're not in the Premier League. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. As Ben said, it's another trophy we have over Norwich, and I didn't disagree because it is.
I mean, that is true. Meanwhile, apart from our League One titles lately, our last League One title was 2004. Other than that, we need to win more trophies. But I'm just happy that that we, the Green Army, exist. That's the main thing.
Obviously. Oh, hello. For you, Jack, it's 13 years you've been.
It has, it has been a long ass 13 years, 100%. When Newcastle relegated us in the first place in 2010.
You were very close to National League football.
We were. There were dark times. They were 2012 and 2013.
You've had a rough road. 2017 you got promoted. 2019 you got relegated again, I believe.
We did, yeah. Derek just wasn't good enough for Derek Adams. Wasn't good enough for League One football, so we got rid of him. And then Ryan Lowe came in, and then he took us straight back up. Then he went to Preston last season. Now we've got Shuey, who's obviously been Ryan Lowe's assistant when Lowe was manager as well. And to be honest, Lowe leaving, as it stands, is the best decision so far because look what Shuey's done for us, honestly.
I'm just going to say that's probably actually turned out quite well for you.
It has 100% turned out really well. I mean, like to have a first league one title since 2004 and promoted for the first time in 13 years. No, honestly, it's really special. It is really special, and I'm really excited for the Championship next season. We've got two more teams now confirmed that we're both playing next season, West Brom and Millwall, because they've both missed out on the playoffs.
Well,
Coventry got in, Sunderland's got in, so Sunderland's facing Luton, Coventry's facing Middlesbrough, so I know we're facing three more of those teams as well.
And Blackburn missed out too.
Oh, yeah, sorry, and Blackburn's missed out as well, so yeah, we will be at Level Park next season as well.
Jack, there's a question for you in here. I don't know if it's a rhetorical question or not, but what is Plymouth's secret to scoring late goals?
To be honest, I don't even know how we do it ourselves. To be honest, I just think there's an awful lot of character in both our club, our ownership, our team, our manager. There's a lot of character into our team, and there's just so much superb mentality in the whole dressing room at the moment. I don't know whether that has a part in it, but it just shows that with the performances you put in and the clinicalness you put in as well, that doesn't just win you league titles, it wins you promotions at the same time as well. And we've been really good at it. The only downside being is that when we don't have a good performance, we do not have a good performance. Like Lincoln at home, for example, Peterborough away, we got destroyed. Charlton away, we got destroyed. So that's stuff we have to look out for next season in the Championship itself. But since we haven't been in the Championship for 13 years, and I know there's a lot of Championship clubs at the moment that are really struggling to even stay in the league at the moment, I think we might surprise a few next season, and I'm really excited for it. I really am, honestly. I will be honest, and especially after, first of all, this January just gone, and second of all, with the end of running as well, I will be honest. The one game I've already said that I have a feeling we'll lose next season is actually against you guys at Portman Road. That is the one game I've said to myself already, because I thought after how we got a point this season there, and we're facing them again next season, and I know Ipswich are not just one of the favourites next season, but I think you'll really surprise a lot next season. I think Portman Road's going to be a very tough day for us when we go there next season, without a shadow of a doubt. But what I'm excited about is I'm just hoping we can bring our home form from this season into next season, because that's been really strong as well.
Ben, you said you had a couple of questions for Jack, so fire away.
Yeah, obviously you mentioned Schumacher at the start. Looking to next year, if he, let's say you get to October, November,
Yeah.
do you sack him or do you keep him?
I'd say keep him. I trust him a lot. I think it just depends on, because we've got to. It's a hard one, because I hope we give him time, and because first of all, he loves the club. His passion for us is incredible. I don't want us to do what Wigan did this season with Liam Richardson, basically. And obviously Wigan's gone straight back down. I'd say as it stands, because I love him to bits, I'd say give him the whole of next season, and then after next season, whatever happens, even if it did end up going back down to League One, whatever happens, and we still have him, then I guess Simon has a decision to make over next summer. But no, I'd definitely say I back him at the moment. I back him and the players all throughout next season so far.
Let's speak, because obviously you've got a couple of loan players in your squad: Ballymunba, Jay Matete.
Yeah.
Michael Cooper, I think, is going to be missing for a big chunk of next
season. Yeah, Michael
still.
Cooper. Yeah, Cooper's got ACL. I don't think he's going to be back till about November, December, which is why I've said to the boys on the Argyle Way, and on Harvey England's channel as well. It's why I said I hope we do really well in the transfer market, because I know we're not just gonna need to sign some players to bring some squad depth into the team for next season, but also, if we bring in some championship experience as well. I heard we've been linked with Ashley Barnes this summer as well, and he used to play for us as well. And he's leaving Burnley for sure. If we can bring some championship experience in, then I reckon we will have a chance, honestly. But we're going to be a promoted team, of course. We're going to be coming in as the League One champions into the Championship next season. So the way I see it is that I just hope we can just go in there next season, have a massive crack at it, give it everything we can, 110%. And I mean, the goal for next season is really to stay up. Even if we finish 21st, I will take it any day of the week. And then hopefully we can build from there. But anywhere that isn't relegation next season, I'll 100% take, basically.
Do you think you loan a keeper till Cooper's back, or sign one instead of Dawson, or
you can have ours if you want?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Because the thing is, I have a feeling we bring in a lone keeper, or we bring in another keeper to be alongside us before Cooper gets back. I hope we bring someone in at least anyway, because what I don't want is to come into next season and all we're going to be relying on from end of July all the way to November is relying on Callum Burton for the whole 4 or 5 months. Yes, he's a brilliant backup to Cooper. He's proved that. This season's literally shown that. I just have a feeling if it's just him, it's going to be a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and I don't know whether that will sink in or anything. So no, again, I just hope we do really well in the transfer market this summer, really. So we can tell. So hopefully we can say to the Championship that we're going to be one to watch next season.
I mean, you are going to be underdogs. I mean, I think
we are. I know what the media and the bookies are like about us already, as it is.
I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but we're favourites to win the Championship already. So
I know. Yeah, I saw you and Watford are the favourites. Yeah.
All pressure on us, really.
No, that is pressure. To be fair.
I don't doubt we'll do well. I think. We've got.
Oh no, I think you'll be fine next season. I think both of us will surprise a few next season. I think we'll both be fine.
We have.
I know Ipswich has quite a fair bit of money behind them, and I know that's something. I heard you guys have been linked with Raksaki from Charlton lately as well, which is, if you get him, that's a brilliant signing in itself already.
Ben, you got any more questions for Jackie?
I'm just trying to think what it was now. I know it was. So obviously, let's be honest. Last season, you bowled it against MK.
Last season we bottled it. Yeah, we bottled it badly.
It is fair to say.
Did you feel any nerves on yesterday? Bear in mind how tight it was.
What yesterday? What just for the title?
Yeah, just for that title, just for that game, or you always confident that you could do it?
I'm a bit of an optimist, to be honest. Where it depends on the performances we put in, because when we played Lincoln at home in April, that was by far our worst performance the entire season, losing 2-0 to them at home, and we had the derby away at Exeter next, and I wasn't sure at all on how we were going to do. The boys were much more confident than I was, but I knew Exeter was going to be up for the game regardless. But thankfully, we came out with an amazing 1-0 win. I know I say amazing in a 1-0 win, but it was precious. Not just because it's the derby, just because at the end of the day, I see it as long as we get 3 points, that's the main thing. But no, in terms of last season we bottled it badly, and I will confess that we went from 5th to 7th on the last day. MK Dons battered us, and in a way, I'm actually glad the way yesterday happened, because MK have been relegated, so I have a feeling it's absolute karma for last season. They've been relegated and we've been promoted, so there's there's something I had in my mind about that, and I know Pieface tweeted about it yesterday as well, which was hilarious. But no, I was actually confident going into this season, despite losing Kamara to you guys, and it's actually interesting because I was devastated when we got rid of Kamara, but it actually has turned out to be the best decision we made, and if anything, it turned out to be brilliant. It turned out to be a brilliant decision by us, and something you guys aren't enjoying at the moment.
Do you want him back?
We can if you want.
Take him back.
If you want. He was amazing for us. I'd happily take him back.
Take him back. He's not played for us. He's been too injured.
Kamara, Randall, and Butcher, and possibly Matete. I mean, that's an insane midfield. I'd take that any day of the week.
It's not too bad, is it?
But no, apart from Kamara, I was actually really confident going into this season, because we pretty much kept the same team as last season, obviously except for Panucci. And also, the mentality inside that dressing room, I just thought we wanted complete revenge after the way last season ended. Hence why I was really confident. I had a second in my start of the season predictions behind Sheffield Wednesday. And the reason why I had us two as the top two was because I thought both of us wanted revenge from the way last season ended, because obviously Sheffield Wednesday got knocked out by Sunderland in the playoffs. And I knew Wednesday spent well in the transfer market over the last summer. And then also I saw Shuey won a Manager of the Month award towards the end of last season as well. So I was confident in him towards that. But either way, even if I was confident, I knew it was going to be a hard season anyway, because Wednesday were there, you guys were there, Derby, Peterborough. I mean, Peterborough had Grant McCann, and he proved it with Hull, and that's why they were one of my favourites. I had them fourth in my start of the season predictions. But no, I just knew that if we wanted to go up, we needed to do well against the so-called best teams in the league. And we've only, out of all the top six this season, we've only lost 3 games, and all 3 of them were away: Wednesday, Peterborough, and Barnsley. All the rest, we either won or at least got a point. And I know you guys will probably be fed up with me saying all this, but it kind of makes me again amazed that we managed to get that precious point at Portman Road in January.
Do you know what makes it worse though? Is bloody Ballymumba scored it too.
No, I understand that. Obviously with that Norwich link, so I do understand that. I met up with Alex Griffin after the game, and he literally just said to me straight away, "I'm fuming," and I just said to him, "I was like, I can't blame you, to be honest."
I can't lie. I
was
was
trying not.
really
I will admit, I was trying not to laugh. Not obviously at Ipswich, obviously, but laughing at the fact that we got a point after that.
I really was. I can vouch for Griffin because I was the same.
Oh no, I can't blame you guys at all one bit.
Because that period of time in the season, we were conceding late goals like that, and Plymouth was just an add-on to that, and it sucked because we were chasing you, and if we'd have done that, would have caught you a little bit.
That's what I mean, because I knew January was a rough patch for Ipswich, and I said to myself at Portman Road itself, if Ipswich win this game, which was very likely as well, if Ipswich win this game, they'll be right back in it behind us on Wednesday. But we somehow managed to get a point at the end, and we could have won the game 2-1. Ryan Hardy missed an absolute sitter just after half time, but it could have also been 2-2 because Marcus Harness hit the bar as well. Yeah. So. Personally, I actually thought we got a deserved point at Portman Road, but we left it very, very late. And that's why I understand how fuming Ipswich fans were after the game.
I can't argue you deserved a point. I wouldn't have minded a point had you not scored so late.
Yeah.
And I think I also wouldn't mind if Ballymumba didn't fucking score, but we didn't score.
No, I don't blame you for that. I don't blame you at all. With that, obviously, with the Ipswich-Norwich rivalry, I don't blame you. The one I didn't want scoring was Ladapo because he was our former player and he didn't. But he did at Home Park, and I was there thinking, for God's sake. But we managed to turn that game around, and I went so ecstatic because that was the day we went top of the league. But when we were 1-0 down at Port Vale, and in a way, I will be honest, I wasn't surprised considering they are literally our bogey side. We've never won. The last time we won against Port Vale was years and years and years ago. That's our first win against Port Vale in ages. Yesterday was. It's mental. And when they were 1-0 up, I was there thinking, it's happening again, isn't it? And then I saw it was 0-0 at Fleetwood. Then I saw you took the lead. But I was being a good sport. I was saying to myself, if Ipswich win the league, they fully deserve it, and if we win the league, we fully deserve it. But we managed to turn 100%. We managed to turn that Port Vale game around as well. But it's interesting because I actually had both of us to not win yesterday. I had us to draw 3-3, and I had you guys to draw 2-2, which turned out was the correct score.
We were woeful yesterday. We didn't.
I heard it. I heard Ipswich were terrible yesterday. But I think that might only just be because of that. Obviously got promoted against our biggest rivals the other Saturday, of course. Again, cheers for doing that. Paul Mariner's crap.
No worries.
And second of all, we cannot stand Exeter, obviously. And second of all, I was there thinking to myself, I don't know how much both us and Ipswich are going to party over the week, but if we do, then I'm not surprised considering we're both promoted to the Championship. And I know there isn't really a comparison. Like, I know you've been stuck in League One for 4 years. We've been outside the Championship for 13 years, and some of those were the dark days in League Two. Which I know for a club like us, that is a league we're thinking, how the hell are we down here? But it does happen. It does happen. In my lifetime, it turns out. But literally, but at the end of the day, whatever league you're in, it's fully deserved regardless, because it's just the summary of your seasons, really. But I was there thinking to myself, I know it's not really a comparison of us being away from the Championship for 13 years, but I totally understand how painful, of course, it must be from your sets of fans of being away from the Championship for even 4 years, because that also is still technically a really long time, regardless anyway. And we both had a dark season in 2019 because we both got relegated. Because we were going to stay up, but then our last day was a disaster. We literally got relegated on goal difference. Southend stayed up, Wimbledon stayed up, and then of course I know you guys obviously hate the 2019 season for 18-19 season for obvious reasons. Obviously, bottom of the league, and then even worse for you guys seeing your arch rivals winning the league.
It's not going to happen this year.
Yeah, personally, and I know you guys will love me saying this, but I genuinely think, as it stands, you will beat Norwich next season in the table. I genuinely think that will go well.
Music to my ears, that Jack.
No, I'm genuinely being serious. I think Ipswich will finish above Norwich next season.
Music to my ears, that boy.
And, well, as for us, I don't know how we're going to do against Norwich yet, but we will try and do every favour possible to do the 6 points over them.
I love that.
I'm hoping to tick off Carrow Road next season as a new away day, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, we're the same.
We have some stickers for the old Carrow Road next season.
Oh yeah. And I'm just hoping we can keep Mumba. We spent all today in the promotion parade chanting Ballymumba, we want you to stay. And if Norwich bring him back, I'm going to be there thinking, Canaries, I thought we had a deal.
I have a funny feeling they will bring him back because of how crap they've been.
I think if they bring him back, I can't.
I think it's very 50-50. I think it's very 50-50 because I know Mumba loves us, and I know he'd love to stay on for another year. But if Norwich do bring him back, I won't be surprised at the end of the day. But plus, if Norwich do bring him back, we'll look at someone else to try and replace him anyway.
It's a question for you, right? Now you're in the Championship.
Yeah.
Do you think Morgan Whittaker comes back?
See, I'm actually very confident that he might because there's been strong rumours about it, first of all. Second of all, he spent more time lately talking about us than he has about Swansea, where he is now. And third of all, he was at our home game against Bristol Rovers the other week. He was watching it. And I was there thinking that is a sign that he might want to come back. But yeah, we'd have to do it. If he comes back, we'd have to do everything we can to sign him on a permanent. We can sign players over the summer, definitely. We have a budget. We just don't have the budget that you guys have, obviously.
If you got Whittaker and Mumba, I think
that's what I mean. I think we can surprise a few next season. I just hope we get one over QPR next season because Gareth Ainsworth is their manager.
He's not done great for them, so you never know.
That's what I mean. But I know there's so many teams around that bottom of the Championship this season, and I just have a potential that we really could surprise. And we played Birmingham in the FA Cup last season, and we beat them no problem. That got us into the next round. So I know it was last season, but it's just something that gives me confidence for. And I know Birmingham again have not been great again this season in the Championship. So who knows?
Yeah.
And then there's Rotherham, Rotherham. They're literally, apart from this season, for the first time in God knows how long. Apart from this season, they're usually literally Championship one season, League One the next season, Championship the next season. So there's that confidence I have. And then there's others that I know are struggling at the moment. Stoke's been bang average lately. West Brom, I know, apparently, I've been hearing that West Brom are about to enter financial difficulty. So I don't know whether that is going to play into it as well, but no. As long as we survive next season, I'm happy. That's the main thing. 21st or above, I will be happy. And the one team I desperately want us to beat again next season. The one team I desperately want us to beat next season, as well as QPR, of course, because of Ainsworth, is Preston, because Ryan Lowe is their manager, and Preston probably will be our main rivals next season just because of that.
No, that's fair enough. Let's talk about March to now, because the table looked a lot different then.
It did. Yeah, you're right.
It does now.
Sheffield Wednesday said they'll walk the league, and they haven't.
That's it. You had Wednesday fans saying, we've won the league now, because they were, 10 points clear.
That's what I mean. I was there thinking, have you, though? It's February. It's funny, because I said in my January midway predictions that we'd finish top and Ipswich finished second. And the minute I said that, Wednesday hit top form. Because I had Wednesday first. And then it's actually interesting because ever since the start of the season, I've actually had us three as the top three, just in a different order. Because at the start of the season, I had Wednesday to win the league, us to come second, Ipswich to come third. Midway through, I had us to win it, you to come second, Wednesday to come third. And then that's what it turned out to be at the end as well.
It's funny because that's why I'm glad they've not got a top two, because they were given at the big end, we're 10 points clear, we won the league.
That's what I mean. And in a way, I'm glad they didn't make the top two either, because I went to Hillsborough in February and that was annoying. They did deserve the win at the end, and they should have won 2-0, to be fair, because their second goal that got ruled out for offside was onside, I will be honest. But it's just after the game, so many of their fans were not just giving it large on me, but they were acting all so hard. So many of them were acting so hard and stuff. Like I was trying to find my way back to Sheffield railway station, and I will be honest, one just had a right go at me for no reason, going, get the fuck out of our city or something. I'm just there thinking, Jesus Christ, all right.
That's why,
And
that's why you don't have your colours on
and
true.
there's so many Sheffield Wednesday fans that were just thinking they were so hard on it all and then acting cocky they were going to win the league. And it just makes me so glad that they've bottled it like that.
And then obviously
go on, Ben. No, I was just going to say, I was watching the playoffs on what day are we on? Monday, yesterday. I was watching it and I just heard the Sheffield Wednesday fans singing the Derby, you're staying down. And I'm sat there thinking, you lot could easily be the same if you lose.
To be honest, I think they'll win the playoffs, in my opinion. And that's because, and that is only because, I think right now out of the four, they're in the best form right now. They've got Windass back at the right time as well. I think they're getting Byers back as well for the playoffs. I also think that, out of the four sides, they're by far the strongest as well. And to be honest, as much as Wednesday were giving me the large and stuff, see, this is where I'm very 50-50. If they do go up, I won't mind at all, because I'll look at that thinking, well, personally, I think we've been the best three teams all season, so I'll take that any day that we're all up. But if they don't go up, I will find it hilarious at the same time.
It would be fair to see them go up, considering they've got 96 points.
Yeah, no, exactly that as well.
But it would also be hilarious because they were giving it the big one if they don't.
And now that they've got Peterborough, and it's not that I'm writing Peterborough off for this, but I think they'll knock out Peterborough, no problem. If they had Derby, I think it would have been a lot harder for them. But I think especially the Derby's Wednesday's bogey team as well. But Barnsley are so out of form right now, and that's why I don't see them winning it this time. And the only one I can see giving it hard for Wednesday is Bolton, and that's why I think it'll be a Wednesday-Bolton final on at Wembley. But that's just me.
For me, it's Peterborough because you don't have 26 goals in your team for nothing.
Yeah,
and they played Barnsley completely off the park.
They did. You are right.
If you go to Hillsborough, like we saw it early on in the season, you go to Hillsborough and you start first, their fans will easily turn, and then it's just an easy game. Take it back to London Road or whatever the bloody hell it's called now.
Yeah.
And easily win.
I always call it London Road anyway.
Yeah,
the Western Home Stadium.
Yeah, whatever bloody
see, we've all got split opinions because I think Barnsley are winning the playoffs, if I'm honest.
Yeah, fair enough. It really, you know what it just shows though? It just shows that the playoffs is a complete lottery. And you know what?
Yeah, it is.
I'm freaking delighted we're not in it, especially our record at Wembley as well. So, and that's why I said in January, the reason why I had Wednesday to win the playoff final and come third was because I just feel like I just look at our playoff history. I'm there thinking I reckon they'll do much better in the final at playoffs than both us and Ipswich put together, considering our record at playoff finals.
Well, since our Bristol Rovers away on Valentine's Day, we've been the most informed team in this league. You have. There's no arguments. We've won 13 out of 15. We had 13 out of 14 before Sunday. We conceded 2 goals before Sunday. Now we conceded 4.
What impresses me the most is that you've had so many hard away days as well. Derby, Peterborough and Barnsley, to name a few. And you've delivered in every single one of them. After that Barnsley game, I was thinking that is surely Ipswich up.
You went to Derby, didn't you, when you played Derby?
I did, because I couldn't go to the Argyle one in September. I didn't have the time, unfortunately, or the money at the time. But I wanted to make sure I at least ticked Pride Park off for this season, considering we've had them this season, regardless, in League One. And I knew it was the day before Wembley, and I knew I had the time. So I was there looking at my schedule thinking, oh, bugger it, I'm going to Derby Ipswich as a neutral. Honestly, let's go.
You must...
when I say a neutral, I only wanted Derby to win, because obviously you were one of our biggest rivals coming into the title. And obviously you'd say likewise the same if that was us.
Of course I would. Of course I would.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, of course I would. Obviously, that Papa John's final must be a distant memory now, because...
Oh, yeah, it is. 100% is. And you know what? I obviously... I take promotion in the league any day over that Papa John's final. Only thing that I wish from that Papa John's final is that I just wish we made so much more effort. But I could just tell from that day that we weren't up for it. We were poor, and we just wanted to focus on the league. And I left Wembley thinking I'm going to sound like Neil Warnock on this, but after Wembley, I said we've got to die to get 24 points at the end of the season. And our first game was Morecambe, and we were 1-0 down for that at halftime as well. I literally nearly refused to speak to anyone. I literally said to myself, I was like, Wembley, I don't care about now. This is freaking huge if we lose this. And I was just so grumpy because we were losing at halftime. You were winning. Wednesday were winning against Oxford. Thankfully, Wednesday blew it against Oxford. Everyone was winning apart from Barnsley and who were 0-0 against Burton. They eventually lost to Burton as well, which did us a massive favour. But I was there thinking at half-time, we're going to have to freaking switch our asses right up if we want to freaking get promoted. And thankfully, we turned it around, come back things yet again in the second half to win 3-1.
You'll probably disagree with this, but it must feel, if you, I don't mind this. That opinions anyway, isn't it?
No, exactly.
In my opinion, I know we didn't win the league. I know you won the league, but in my opinion, I'd still feel like we were the best team in the league this year.
They're fair enough. You know what? And this is where I look at it thinking. Throughout looking back at the season now, this just shows why us two literally fully deserve to go up and get the top 2 automatic spots. In some ways, I actually agree, but I would say this is the way I see it. I'd say obviously we won the league. We won the league. We've been the most consistent all season. That just shows we've been the best team in the league this season. But if I'm going on. And the best manager in Shuey. But I would say in terms of the squad depth and players, I would give it to you guys. Because only one Argyle player actually makes my team this season, and that's Mumba. Whereas Ipswich, I have 3 players in my team this season. Chaplin, Morsey and Davis.
Well, Morsey got robbed by the EFL. So.
Oh, mate, I was fuming about that. I knew that was such a terrible decision. So... I just couldn't believe how Hurahan got in over Morsey, and I couldn't believe Windass made it. So it literally wound me right up.
So you must be obviously... I said statistically we were the best. Not positionally.
No. Yeah.
Positionally, you're the best. You won the league. So
yeah.
Statistically...
Statistically, I probably agree. Because you've had the best goal difference. You've had the least defeats out of any of us. The only thing that puts us as at an advantage is that we've had a lot less draws than you have, but we have lost 7 games this season. So, and that's obviously not comparable to your 4 defeats this season. And only losing 4 games all season is very impressive in itself as well. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, the 14-15 draws have really killed us this season.
Yeah, that makes sense. But the main thing is you're up, which is the main thing. And I rang Alex after our promotion days against Burton and Exeter, and I just rang him saying, "What's it like over there?" A moment. He was just saying, "Oh, mate, it's unbelievable." I saw the videos when I got back as well. It looked unreal as well. It was good.
It was good. It felt so good because mine and Ben's first promotion is. It was just extra special, and to do it 6-0 as well. It's just incredible. Like.
Yeah, and that's
another few goals for me. Yeah.
Another one is I had your home game against Charlton as a really hard game as well, and I know what Charlton's like against the bigger clubs, even though their away form isn't exactly great anyway, because we outclassed them 2-0 at home anyway. But I just looked at that thinking, I think that's going to be a hard home game for Ipswich, and then you just tormented them. And I was there thinking, this is why they could so 100% go up, and if they do, it's fully deserved. But I see why. I remember your Hillsborough game at Sheffield Wednesday, and I know Wednesday one of their goals was offside, wasn't it? And I could tell how fuming you all were, which I completely couldn't blame you for as well.
Yeah,
At Hope Park, thankfully we beat Wednesday 2-1, but we should have won 3-1 because we had a clear goal ruled out by the referee, and it freaking wound me right up.
That's when we played Barnsley. Like we scored a perfectly good goal. Referee rules it out.
Oh yeah, and then there's your home game against Barnsley as well. I think that's where our home form's been incredible this season. Because I know you had quite a few early draws at home as well.
We did. Yeah.
But your away form this season's been bar none incredible. And I looked at the away form table, and you're top of that. So,
however, we have only lost one game at home all year. So
that is very true. We have lost more games at home than you guys have. To be fair, it's just the draws that's done it for Ipswich.
Who was that one game?
Lincoln
1-0.
And we lost to Lincoln at home as well, so that's something we can both cry about.
Be fair, Lincoln beat a lot of teams like that away, so
yeah,
you can't.
They've had a decent season, in all honesty, considering how disastrous their season was last season. Even though they stayed up again, of course, last season. This season they have improved massively. But the team for me, the most underperforming team this season in League One is Oxford. I had them 7th in my start of the season predictions. Just like us last season, they bottled it. They finished 8th, just behind us, and we were both in the playoff hunt the whole time. When we beat them 1-0 at Home Park last season, that's pretty much killed Oxford's playoffs hopes. But we both bottled it either way. Obviously, we bottled it way worse because we went from 5th to 7th on the last day, of course. But because we both just missed out, it's why I had Oxford up there for this season. So they really have surprised me with where they finished this season.
We lost to Oxford away, so that was fun, wasn't it?
Oh, no. I can imagine how painful that defeat was for you guys as well. No, thankfully, we beat them 3-1 away in their car park grounds. But what was our 7 defeats this season? So the first one was Fleetwood away. That was painful, but we never beat Fleetwood. They're literally our bogey team.
Charlton away, wasn't it?
Then Charlton away, my first game of the season, and we got humiliated. Deservedly so, because Charlton were fantastic from start to finish that game.
Peterborough away.
It's that game, Peterborough away. It was Fleetwood away, Charlton away, Port Vale at home, Sheffield Wednesday away, Peterborough away, Barnsley away, and Lincoln at home. Lincoln, we were awful. Port Vale, we were awful and missed so many chances. Peterborough away. Peterborough away is an interesting one because there were moments in the game where we looked like we were back in it. And before Peterborough got that penalty, that got them the 1-0 lead. We actually didn't look that bad, but overall we deserved to lose and we got absolutely hammered at the end of the day. But we scored 2 goals. We scored 2 goals that day, and that just showed how inconsistent Peterborough were with their defence.
Yeah.
And then Barnsley was a frustrating one because the first half of that game, we absolutely outclassed them and we played so well. But the second half, we completely fell apart and they scored 3 goals. And it was after that game in March where I looked at the tables. I saw you had an amazing win over Bolton and Wednesday got an amazing win at Fratton Park against Pompey. I looked at the table after we got hammered by, well, not exactly hammered, but we lost 3-0 to Barnsley. And I just looked at the table now thinking, after that, I was like, any one of us 4 can get top 2 at this point. And I just knew the Autos race was blown wide open that day.
Yeah, it was. Beating Peterborough twice isn't for everybody, Jack.
No, you're not wrong. And no, it's all right. At the end of the day, we've got up and won the league, so that's the main thing. But no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. We just didn't turn up exactly that.
It's funny because
at Home Park we outclassed them. So 2-0 win, we absolutely outclassed them, and we outclassed Barnsley at home as well. First game of the season.
It's funny because we've not lost to Wednesday, Peterborough, or Barnsley this season.
Yeah. We have, on the other hand,
and you have, so it's quite.
But weird. we beat all 3 of them at home, so I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah,
home
probably better.
That's it. Yeah. At the same time, we've not beaten Cheltenham, which is really frustrating.
Yeah, no, we have a good record against Cheltenham, so But I mean, that win actually on Boxing Day at Cheltenham itself, I think that really stood out for us as well because they gave us a really hard game that game. It was another game we had to work for, so if we wanted to win it, and Alfie May, being Alfie May, tried everything he could to try and score and stuff, but we managed to get the one goal, and yeah, no, that was an incredible away win that was, and they're a really hard side to beat as well, despite our brilliant record against them. But obviously, I look back at that now, thinking, because I saw obviously you guys drew at Cheltenham, Wednesday drew at Cheltenham, they nearly lost at Cheltenham as well, and I was just there thinking to myself, that just shows how much of a brilliant win that was. And the other one that stands out for me is you probably won't want to hear this because I know you lost there, is Wickham. And it stands out because they have been our bogey side for years. The last time we won at Wickham, against Wickham, was like 2015 or something, 2014. It's been ages ago, and they've just been our bogey side ever since those years. And like last season, they did the double over. So another some more games that costed us the playoffs, really. But this season, I never thought we'd do the double over them, and I just couldn't believe it. I was at Wickham in October as well, and the fact that we managed to get a 1-0 win over there, it is mental. I couldn't believe it. And we played them at home in December, the same day you guys were at Fratton Park against Pompey, the 2-2 draw. And I just, looking back, because this was before Gareth Ainsworth left the club, I look back at that now thinking how we've now done the double over a manager that loves playing us. I just couldn't believe it. It was incredible.
Well, I was at both Wickham and Fratton Park, so that was
same. I was at Pompey. I was at Pompey in September as well.
I was also at Lincoln after both of those. I did 3 back to back.
I did Lincoln in November. That was a 1-1 draw for us. So Lincoln have now started to become a massive bogey side for us.
We had a 1-1 draw there too. We've not beaten them much either, to be fair.
Meanwhile, I was sat in hospital bed.
Yeah, well.
But another game I hated this season was when we drew 0-0 with Fleetwood at home. That was that game was just a nightmare. I know we got a point, which is better than losing, but they basically came for a point the whole game, and they got what they wanted.
That's what Fleetwood always do.
Yeah, and we literally just basically Fleetwood and Shrewsbury. Thankfully, we did the double over Shrewsbury this season, but Fleetwood and Shrewsbury are basically the two clubs that are basically as League One as you can get. They'll stop you from going up, and then they'll make you get relegated to League Two. The fact that Fleetwood game at home was so frustrating. They're the only team actually that we haven't won against this season. So that just shows how well they've done against us. But they've been our bogey side for so many years now anyway. But yeah, they came for a point. They got what they wanted. But it's just the fact that we had chance after chance after chance that game, and we just couldn't finish. It wound me up, honestly.
I think I'll tell you what our turning point in the season was for me. And a lot of Town fans have said this. Sheffield Wednesday at home.
The 2-2 draw.
We were obviously 2-0 down.
It's funny because I actually had that as a 2-2 draw as well, because I saw Wednesday beat us, but I was there thinking, I'll tell you what, I know people are going to write off Ipswich in this game, but I wouldn't write them off at your peril at all, because they are a decent side.
And Michael Smith was still on goal for 3. He missed that up. Broadhead, I love that man. Free kick just before half time, make it 2-1.
I think that's the other thing, though, as well. Your January transfer window has been absolutely superb this season. I mean, it has for us as well. Matete's been amazing for us, but all the signings you've had, Broadhead and Hurst, and Luongo signed in January as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, all three of them have been absolutely incredible. And there's another thing that that's really helped Ipswich for that as well. And it's no more than you guys deserve, of course. I think that's the other thing that that kills it for me for Wednesday, is that they didn't even hardly spend in January compared to us two. And I mean, I know money and spending isn't always the answer to getting promoted, of course, but I just don't know whether Wednesday got really cocky with the team they have, and then they just couldn't take advantage of it, of course.
Yeah, that's probably a factor, I suppose. Give me a favourite moment for Plymouth, and don't you dare say Mum was equaliser, probably.
Can I say the 2-1 at Home Park where the Sky commentator was like, "It's Whittaker."
If you like, I don't mind.
No, I don't mind. I mean, to be fair, I will admit the home game against Ipswich is my favourite home game of the season, but bar none, because that was just special. And I will be honest, when you went 1-0 up with Ladapo scoring, I was there thinking, if Ipswich go up this season, I won't be surprised. They've been incredible, and the fact that we managed to turn it around, I just couldn't believe it. But my favourite moment of the season, I think it's got to be our late winner at Shrewsbury last month. It was just, and we all thought we were going to walk away from Shrewsbury with just a point, and saw that Wednesday beat Bristol Rovers, saw that it away, saw that you beat Port Vale at home that night, and I thought we were gonna walk away from Shrewsbury with just a point, and the top three was going to even be more tighter than ever. But the fact that we managed to pull off a late 90th winner, I just cannot believe how special that was. I think that night was the night that I felt like we were promoted. I think that's just how it felt, because I just did not think at all that we would have done that, and it was too special. But it's interesting as well, because we actually were a much better team against Shrewsbury as well, and both games we've played Shrewsbury this season, Steve Cotterill, and as much as I have massive respect for him, he's a great guy, he's a great manager, and he really likes us as well. Both games we've had against Shrewsbury, they have dived all over the pitch. They've basically become another Wycombe on that, and we've managed to. They basically just they haven't taken advantage of it. Basically, they tried to do it as thinking of getting an advantage, but it was a complete misfortunes in both games when they played us. But I know you had Shrewsbury 5th game of the season and you tormented them 3-0. And that was the day we tormented Forest Green 3-0.
That was when our goal of the season was scored, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
No.
What do you mean, no?
You know I've got my opinions on that goal.
I think the other really underperforming team for me this season has got to be Portsmouth, because when you guys beat them 3-2 at Portman Road, I know you dominated the game though as well. I know the reason why Pompey got 2 goals was because Bishop scored 2 penalties. But after that game, they were in the top 3 with us 2, of course, and I expect them to be in at least a playoff hunt for the rest of the season. With the squad they had as well, but they just completely fell apart, and I was really shell-shocked on the way they fell apart as well.
Yeah,
that was Danny Cowley for you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think had they got rid of Cowley sooner, maybe things might have changed, but I don't know, because the thing is, Pompey had a brilliant start to the season as well, and but Pompey's had a lot of seasons like this lately. They've started well and then they just suddenly drop off. I mean, last season it happened to them as well. But no, it really surprised me, because I saw the team they had in Colby Bishop, Marlon Pack, you name it. Dane Scarlett was flying at the start of the season, and then even he crumbled. Who else? Joe Morrell. He's such an underrated midfielder. He is. But no, they've really surprised me. They've really surprised me this season. After that Ipswich game, I knew they had Fleetwood at home next, and I expected them to bounce back after that, and they didn't. They didn't at all. They've had so many draws at Fratton Park as well. Then in December, I saw them have their worst performance of the season away at Wycombe, losing 2-0, and it was the start of Danny Cowley losing the dressing room. But I was really surprised, because I really thought after they lost to you guys, I thought they'd be up there for the rest of the season, whether they finished 3rd or not. Actually, I thought it was going to be us 2, Pompey and Wednesday, as the top 4 for the rest of the season. So that's again on how surprised I was, because when we played Pompey away, when we drew 2-2 in the 9th game of the season, when you guys had Wednesday at Hillsborough, I labelled that weekend as Grand Slam Saturday. The top 4 all facing each other on that day.
Ben, give me a favourite moment from what you've seen, please.
From what I've seen, obviously,
or just in general.
It's not been much. I think it's probably, from an emotional standpoint, from where I was, it's probably that Plymouth 1-0 game. although it fucking annoyed me. Obviously, it was my first game back at Portland. It was my first game back after a long hiatus, let's say. But I think in terms of like just general football, I'm not going to say pull that. I think it is the Exeter game because we just tore them to absolute shreds, and it could have been more. And I think
100%.
Who's this you tore apart again? Sorry,
Exeter.
Oh yeah,
Exeter.
yeah. No, I watched the game back. They were shocking. They rolled over. They rolled over for us again, like I expected them to. That's how much we hate
I
them.
think the only problem with that Exeter game is I think if they'd have had an out striker for like 4 weeks prior, things probably could have been different. Because I think they'd have came with a different game plan. But because they came with their, I think with their right wing back up top,
Yeah, it was.
we were like, our defenders are going to push quite high. The midfielders are going to have a lot of time on the ball.
That game could have quite easily been 12-13 nil, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
And it would have been so fucking good. That would have been so good.
That would have made that final day even more interesting.
And I could just imagine Jack now looking at the score going.
No, honestly, looking back at that game now, I'm just obviously before the game I was expecting the scum to do us a favour, but obviously they didn't. And now looking back, I just can't stop taking the mick out of them for that. And it's just made Paul Mariner even more proud, hasn't it, for both of us?
Oh yeah, of course.
But to be honest, I thought your away performance at Exeter was one of your best performances of the season as well. Harness had a masterclass that game. I watched it on Sky before we played Burton, as I couldn't go to Burton, so I watched it on Sky, and you looked incredible all throughout the entire game.
It was.
Did you go Exeter in November?
No,
I've always engaged.
I was going to say you haven't missed much. I'll tell you that.
That probably was Harness's best performance in the town shirt, if I'm honest. Because he's been bang average, to be honest with you.
He hasn't been the same player as he was at Pompey, has he?
Not well. He was fine at the start of the season. He was all right.
That's what I mean. So I thought the start, I thought that was a brilliant signing from you guys.
And then he played.
And you know what's interesting? Pompey, and I heard a friend of mine who's a Pompey fan told me this. Pompey actually had the option to sign George Hurst over last summer, who was obviously amazing for Pompey at the end of last season. But Pompey's owners, the Icelanders, went the complete different path and went, no, we're not going to sign George Hurst. We're going to take Joe Pickett on loan from Ipswich instead. And he's been awful for Pompey.
That's a decision.
Love it.
George Hurst has been a revelation for us since he's come in. So
sign him up.
Honestly,
he's a fantastic player, and I knew it ever since on how superb he was for Pompey.
I'd sign him permanently for us in summer if I was Ashton McKenna. I'd look at that going.
I should know this, but is that the name of your owner then? I'll take it, Ashton.
Ashton's a CEO.
He's a CEO.
Ashton's a CEO, yeah. Game Changer 20 are in his American company, who have 4 different football clubs in America. So they're obviously
one in Denmark.
And one in Denmark, yeah.
Oh wow, fair enough.
So we've got footballing men in charge of our club for once, not Marcus Evans, so it makes a difference.
Somebody that deals with Olympics.
And Mark Ashton's been around Bristol City, West Brom.
Oxford. You know what's interesting? The first town and club I think of when I think of that name, Marcus Evans, is indeed Ipswich, of course.
Goodness me.
I wish it weren't.
I know. My favourite town moment, I think it's got to be Port Vale, because...
Why? Hang on, what one? Home or away?
At home. Because...
when you beat them, when we beat Shrewsbury away, yeah.
Because we were 1-0 down at half-time. It wasn't the best first half performance.
It was shit, let's be honest.
It was shit, yes. And, it got to 1-1, yeah, fine. I was thinking, oh no, it's going to be a 1-1 draw here. We could actually bottle top 2. And then Broadhead's last-minute penalty. For me, it's that, or Shift Wednesday at home. That's the turning point for me. So one of those two.
I've got a question for you, Josh.
Go on.
Based on that one, when it got to 1-1 at Port Vale, were you confident we were going to win that?
No. I'm not going to lie, because that was probably one of our worst performances for a long time. So no, I generally wasn't. I think if we'd have not had the penalty, then we would have drawn the game. I couldn't see us getting a goal.
I think if we didn't get that penalty, there was going to be a fucking riot. Jesus.
How if the ref didn't give that, everyone would have been on the pitch, mate, because that was blatant.
Have you seen that video? It's the most funniest video in the absolute universe. So all of our fans in handball.
Jack, pretty much right against Port Vale for that penalty. There was 3 handballs. There was 2 before it was actually given. So one of them, one of them we all screamed for wasn't given. Second one we all screamed for wasn't given. The third one, his arm was up here, and we were like, "That's got to be." He gave it, and I was thinking, if you didn't give that one, I'll be on the pitch, mate. I'd knock you out.
Yeah,
it was so blatant. Let's talk about teams going to be playing next year, because down from the Prem.
Yes.
Relevant to both of us.
I've got the game on at the moment in the background. It's currently 2-1 Forest.
That's why I brought it up, because Everton just spanked Brighton 5-1. This is what I was talking about.
Everton won 5-1. Oh my God. Fair play. That's a brilliant win by them. That's annoyed me though, because I really hope we blooming play Everton next season. It'd be an amazing away day for Argyle.
It was at Brighton too, so it makes it even better. They won 5-1 at Brighton. So, with Forest losing 2-1 currently to Southampton.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2-1 Forest at the moment, yeah.
2-1 Southampton, you mean, right?
Yeah, it's 2-1 Forest at the moment, yeah, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that if Southampton lose their next 2 games, they're officially relegated.
Yeah, I think they pretty much are anyway, aren't they? So
that's what I mean. If they lose today, I think it's just one more, and then.
So Southampton, we know, are pretty much down.
Yeah,
that's one away though.
So I think we can both safely say that we're playing Southampton next season.
I can't lie. I think that's another club I think you'll beat next season at home. No problem. I genuinely think Southampton will struggle next season. I honestly do. I don't see any of the clubs in the Premier League that go down to go back up unless it's Leicester's the only one I can see bouncing straight back up. I can't see Leeds doing it. I can't see Forest doing it. I can't see Southampton doing it. And I can't see Southampton doing it. Oh, and West Ham, if West Ham go down, but I think West Ham will stay up.
West Ham won't go down after last night's win.
If Leeds come down and Leicester come down and really Southampton, it all depends on who their appointment is. Because if they get their appointment wrong, they will struggle big time.
Yeah, I agree.
I said to myself the other day, someone said to me, going, what if James Ward-Prowse leaves Southampton in the summer for getting relegated? I said for a bantery laugh, going, imagine if he comes to us if Southampton get relegated, then we're in the freaking Prem. Come on.
On that question, where do you think he goes if he leaves Southampton? Which Prem club do you think he goes to?
If he does leave Southampton, if he goes to a Premier League club, I know he's been linked with Aston Villa in the past, so I don't know whether that's going to be one. I'm going to say, this might be an unpopular one, but I'm going to say West Ham if Declan Rice leaves West Ham for somewhere like Chelsea or something.
I'll take that.
I don't think he should, because that's a really bad career move for Declan Rice, personally.
Leaving for Chelsea?
Yes. I know Jack's second team for Chelsea, so this is going to hurt.
Yeah, no, it is because of my dad.
At the moment, with the way the situation Chelsea are in, that's a really bad career move for Declan Rice.
Yeah.
True.
I can't lie. I was celebrating Chelsea's survival on Saturday. So I was like, that's something to celebrate this season, isn't it, for Chelsea? So a load of other football fans will see that as really tin pot or really stupid. But I'm just there like, well, Chelsea's had a rubbish season, so it's something to celebrate, isn't it? So
yeah.
Oh, Lampard's a hero because he's kept Chelsea up. He's done more than
It's funny because after I saw Chelsea get absolutely outclassed by Arsenal last week, I literally said to people on Discord, I was like, Lampard just needs to get off his backside and get on that pitch himself, and then it's a different game.
Yeah, well,
imagine that. He just shoved himself on.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Anyway,
Yeah,
so
no,
Southampton was saying to given, yeah?
Yeah.
So we have 2 more spots, which at the moment I think is Leeds.
Don't do this. Don't put me under pressure again.
I think it's Leeds and Forest in the bottom 3 at the moment, if I remember.
At the moment, it's Leeds, Forest, and Saints. Yeah.
Yeah, after Everton's win, and then just above them you have Leicester and Everton. Who are we saying gets the final 2 relegation spots? Or who do you want them to be, lads? Because
Who do I want it to be?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Southampton, Everton, and Leeds.
And then who do you realistically think it's going to be now?
Same 3 again. Although if Forest go down, I'd love it either way because that everyone says it's one of the best away days in the entire country. So I take it as well, but I want Forest to stay up because it'd just be a great story for them, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah. Right. Ben, who would you like to see Town go to next year? Other than Southampton, because that's a given.
Other than Southampton?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I've already said to you.
I think you said Leeds and Forest, didn't you?
Yeah, I think Leeds and Forest would be my 2.
So what it is now then, basically, yeah.
Yeah, do I think they'll come down though? Probably not. I think it will be Leicester.
Do you not think Sam Allardyce is doing magic and keeping Leeds up?
I mean, did you see the match either?
They made Man City time waste, which no one ever does. So
I think I wouldn't mind if Leicester and Forest come down because that'll be pretty good.
I was thinking.
I think I'll take any of the clubs that go down other than Leicester because I know I'd rather do the upper away days than Leicester.
I think I want Everton to go down. I actually want to go good.
But I also really want Everton to go down because Shuey himself is a Toffee fan.
Oh, that would be interesting.
He is an Everton fan. And it's interesting because even though I think Shuey's going to stay with us for a while, and I know he signed a contract and everything, there's only one club in this world and country I can see him leave us for, and that is Everton, just because he literally supports them and stuff.
I was just going to ask, I don't know.
Yeah, go on, Ben.
No, I was just going to ask, I don't know what the Everton manager situation is, but if they come down, do they look at Schumacher as a potential? Because I know Huddersfield have looked at Michael Duff as a potential manager, which to me is really weird.
Yeah, no, I to be honest, considering Shuey's an Everton fan, I would not be shocked if it does get linked. But you know what winds me up, though, is the fact that literally I knew he wasn't going to leave for West Brom or Huddersfield because we were flying and those 2 are right near the bottom in the Championship. And I just could not see it happening at all. And then, because I also look at it thinking, why on earth would you leave a high-flying League One team, top of the league, absolutely storming League One for a really struggling Championship team? Like, I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't get it. But Everton's the only one I can see him leave us for because he's been a fan of that. That's literally his supporting club. But I mean, it depends on the ambitions that Everton have themselves, and also depends if Shuey wants to stay committed to Argyle, of course. Because I know it has happened to Michael Beale this season because he wanted to stay committed with QPR, but he is a Rangers fan and he ended up going to Rangers midway through the season.
He's an Englishman, isn't he? I've got that wrong.
Wait, what's that? Sorry, Ben?
Michael Beale's English, right?
I think he is. Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, but I know he's a Rangers. Yeah. I know he's a Rangers.
Why is he a Rangers fan?
Oh, You know what, Ben?
That's a
I
mental
say the
really
same thing about Alex Griffin, but you know what?
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah, because obviously Alex loves it. Alex loves Rangers. I know that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Ben, the disrespect, by the way. If Everton go down to look at Schumacher, you're telling me he couldn't do it in the Prem?
I don't think he. I think he needs a year in the Championship.
Oh no, I agree. I completely agree.
Fair enough.
But
It's like
I
Austin McKenna.
I also don't see it happening at the moment either as well, purely because of that. Also, every press conference and interview Shuey's had with us, the man has so much passion with us as well. But also, and he said it today in the promotion parade at the ground itself. He said, "Now let's go and smash the freaking championship." And I just looked at that thinking, that is pure passion. I love him so much. What was McKenna's speech like today for Ipswich's promotion party?
I don't know. We'll too busy singing.
It was. It's nice to see McKenna let loose because he's been
bottling up, and
he's been a bit. I'm not going to react yet. Blah blah blah. Job's not done. So it's. He was encouraging his chant today. He was clapping along to his chant today. He even started a Blue Army chant himself. He was happy. I think he's the same as, like you said, it's the same as Shuey. I think he's passionate about his club. I feel like he wants to be here in the long term. I think he's going to be the man to take us to the Prem. I think we want him to be. I think we want him to be the man to take us to the Prem. If I'm honest.
I wouldn't be shocked, to be honest, if Ipswich did make the Premier League in a few seasons' time.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if we do back to back, I'd love that. I mean, if Sunderland can get sixth spot, then there's no reason why we can't.
Whereas us, meanwhile, exactly. Whereas us, meanwhile, I'm just praying that one day before I'm dead, we make the Premier League eventually.
That's not out of question. I'm not going to say.
No, I mean, I agree. I think we will make it one. I think we will make it one day. I look at clubs like Brentford, Brighton, Blackpool. Brentford and Brighton, especially right now, because they're both so well run at the moment, and that's the same with us as well. But over the years, I've seen it with Brentford, Brighton, Blackpool, Swansea, Hull, QPR, Wigan, who've all done it before. They've all done it before, and I just look at it thinking, it's clubs like these where I'm like, I reckon we could make it one day. I never thought in my entire life before 2017 that Brighton or Brentford would ever make the Premier League, and look where they are now. And it just shows how well run both are at the moment, honestly. But
and Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, they're another one. Yeah, don't forget Bournemouth, of course. Yeah, no, that's what I should remember as well, because they're not far from us at all. But
having a decent season as well, mate. I had Bournemouth.
Yeah, no, I think they'll stay up. I think they will stay up personally, and I'm delighted. I'll be delighted for them if they stay up. To be fair,
have you ever been there? Have Plymouth ever been in the Prem?
We've never been in the top flight ever, or in the Premier League. No, so I'm just praying that one day it will happen. Like Hull's never been in the top flight or the Premier League in their history until 2008 when it happened. So I just look at that thinking, I'm really hoping one day, fingers crossed.
Is this one of your lot, Jack?
It will happen. Ashley Barley, I'm not sure, to be honest.
I don't know. He's not come on here before, so I didn't know if there's one from the Argyle way. But
yeah, no. If there's a username I recognise, then I'll probably tell it's from us. If I see a Stevie Watson or a Graham Turner, I know it's from us.
Oh, so, I know those two have come from there. Don't worry.
Yeah, and I know they're both Argyle fans as well.
Yeah, I know those two are from there. I'm pretty sure I've seen that name in the Argyle way chat before, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, let me know if you've come from there.
Fair enough. And you're both planning to do. You're both planning to come Home Park next season as well, aren't you?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
If it's not on a Tuesday night in the middle of fucking January, that's my only standpoint. If it's not in January,
you know what though? If you do come though, and I know Josh is planning to as well, I'll show you around regardless. Not just the club and the city, but I mean, Plymouth is right on the border with Cornwall, and that's the county I come
I
from.
love Cornwall.
Hence
my
the username as well. Hence the username as well. But I'll show you all around my territory and stuff. I love it down here. And that's what made my Ipswich away day really special, because other than when I went to Ipswich in January, I've only been to East Anglia once, and that was all the way back in 2016 for a track day. For a track day at Snetterton, just over the border in Norfolk. It's a British Superbike circuit, and my dad was doing a track day there. We're both big motorcycle fans as well, and we just spent the week. We just spent a couple of days there, but other than that, it was only the second time in my life I've been to East Anglia.
If you come to Ipswich again, which I know you're gonna, because you said you are.
Yeah, no, I plan to. I plan to.
We'll do the same thing for you. We'll give you a little Ipswich tour.
I plan to do both Ipswich again next season and Norwich next season. So
let me know. Let me know what time you get in there, and we'll
let us know.
Of course, no problem.
We'll have a little drink, Jack.
Oh, 100%. My friend Luke is going to be there as well, and obviously Alex will meet up with me as well. So all that really. So no, and I loved Ipswich away in January as well. So and that's not just because of the result. It's not really because of the result, just because of the away day in general. Like I've made rankings of away days as away days in general for this season, and you guys are my number 2 behind Portsmouth. Cool. So there we go.
Yeah, do you know what? Fratton Park's a good place, so
I can't lie. Pompey are my number 1, and that's not just because of the rivalry that us and Pompey have, the so-called Dockyard derby, but it's not really a derby because one club's right on the Cornish border, the other one's right in West Sussex. I call it a Dockyard rivalry or a battle of the ports. But it's just going to Fratton Park. It's just both sets of fans are so passionate as well. Personally, for me, our away fan base was strongest when we went to Portsmouth, because we even at times outsung them of all clubs as well. And it was
how many did you take to Portsmouth?
Oh, we sold out.
So did we on a Thursday night.
What's your average away? What is your average away? We sold out
the entire away, and
was that when it was fully?
It's more interesting because, and I didn't even know this was true until I found out in September when I went to Pompey away. I mean, the Hampshire clubs, both Portsmouth and Southampton, are both so accessible for me anyway, because I did my master's degree in Southampton last year, so I know I've got a lot of friends in Hampshire. So I know it very well. And last season as neutrals, I went to a few Southampton and Portsmouth games last season. One of them, I will be honest, because I had time to do it, and I was doing a project on it as well for my degree, was actually your 4-0 win over them at Fratton Park last season as well.
And was good.
Tell you what, as soon as you mentioned the grey, I feel so stupid right now.
Honestly, no, I've never heard such a toxic or awful feeling around a home atmosphere in my life until that day when Ipswich battered Portsmouth 4-0.
Oh,
I can't lie. I went to Fratton Park away, and Marlon Pack's free kick, to be fair, you know what? Fine, great free kick. But the roar, I've never, ever, ever felt like I did when they scored, ever. It was something. What
was that feeling? Because obviously I was sat in my hospital bed and to me it was so weird, because that lifted Portsmouth, and that almost, from where I was, it almost like played on us a little bit, and then we sort of got used to that atmosphere again.
The roar was just, for you. The feeling was just like, wow, this is some place. These are some fans. Like, the roar made the hairs on my arms stand up. It was.
But literally, like, before the game even started, before their home fans arrived, we couldn't stop singing. It's a game we are always so up for as well. Both clubs, us and Pompey, of course. But literally, I didn't even know this until the away day itself. Before I got to the grounds. Apparently, their play up Pompey chant was actually originally a chant for us, play up Argyle, before they nicked it off us, which I didn't even realise until then. And then it makes more sense now. It makes more sense now why every single minute they will chant those words. We will reply immediately with, "Fuck off, Pompey."
That's what we do.
Pompey, fuck off.
That's what we do as well.
I love it.
I mean, everyone does it. Everyone does it. But, like, we have such a massive passion for doing it, considering our rivalry with them as well.
I tell you what, Ben, you need to go to... I know we'll probably never be there again. I'm hoping we never go there again unless they get promoted. But
I wouldn't mind an FA Cup third round.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, same.
That's probably the only time I do it.
Fratton Park is a place you want to go, Ben, because it's just incredible. Just incredible.
I think... Like, I
said to their fans after yesterday's end of the season, I said I can't lie, I'm gutted you guys aren't coming up, because the Dockyard rivalry would be even more intense in the Championship than it would be in League One. And well, they said, I said hopefully we'll see you again soon. They said yeah when you come down. So I just replied back saying, no, you're coming up and we'll relegate you.
Yeah. I play a lot of Football Manager. I know Josh don't, but I don't know if you do. And Portsmouth, like I've done a few Plymouth careers, I've done Ipswich, whatever. Portsmouth's always the side I struggled against when I go to Fratton Park, and it's really annoying. And it's like that in real life. Like every time I watch it at Fratton Park, we go and struggle. It's actually just annoying.
Thing is, Ben, I bet you were frustrated because we were planning on going to Fratton Park, and then
did you go to Fratton Park this season? The 2-2.
I did.
Oh, fair enough. Well, when I got back from our home game against Wickham that night, I watched your match, and just both sets of fans were just, again, not surprisingly, unbelievable.
I mean, we sold out on a Thursday night. I mean, something.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Personally, I actually think that this is the same with us as well. I personally think with Ipswich, as well as us, of course, on this, I personally think atmosphere-wise, we're both so much better away than we are at home, even though we're both pretty impressive at home anyway.
I 100% agree. Yeah, I do.
And for example, when we played Pompey at home, our atmosphere, we were dreadful compared to them. I know we were up for the game and all that, and we outclassed them and all that, but throughout the entire game at Home Park, they absolutely outsung us, and I can't blame them for that, really. To be fair, only 2 teams this season. I mean, I know they're not surprises because I think we'd expect them to as well, but only 2 teams have sold out Home Park this season, and that is Portsmouth and Exeter. But to be fair, we're not surprised about that anyway, because they're both big rivals.
Did we sell out, or were we
I'm pretty sure
selling out?
didn't we?
Didn't we?
You were close. You were very close. I don't think you quite sold. You and Wednesday, I think, you brought the pretty much exact same amount of numbers. Because I remember watching the game, and I know there was a few seats to the left of where the Ipswich fans were. But to be fair, it was a Sunday at 12 o'clock, so I did feel bad for you guys. If it was a standard Saturday 3 o'clock, you guys would have sold out, no problem. I think next season you'll sell out at Home Park, I reckon, because after we amazingly sold out Portman Road this season in January, I think next season you'll do the return and sell out Home Park.
You're the only team to do that, I think. I don't think Wednesday did it.
Are we the only team to sell out Portman Road this season?
Yeah, I don't think Wednesday did it either.
I swear I thought Pompey sold out Portman Road as well.
No.
Wow. Because I know we did sell out Portman Road, and I think the reason why we also did was just because we saw it. Both of us saw it as the biggest game of the season in January. It was probably because it was back then, yeah. But I just look at it like the fact that we're a team from the west coast of Devon, right on the Devon-Cornwall border. The fact that we've sold out a team so far away from us in the far other side of the country, in the east of England, I just couldn't believe that. It's like if we sold out Newcastle, for example, the furthest club from us, and I just look at it like if we sell out really far grounds from us, like Norwich, Ipswich, Newcastle, Sunderland, Carlisle, I just like that is just impressive. That is amazing.
Fuck Norwich.
We are literally the exact same.
We'll try and do everything we can to do with 6 points over them next season. And to be honest, if they do play dirty against us next season, I probably will also be saying fuck Norwich to them.
Do you know what, if there's any Norwich fans watching this, you lost to Blackpool.
Did they lose to Blackpool today? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I'm really excited for Carrow Road next season. So I'm going to be very intrigued.
They lost to a relegated side. I can't. It's so
By the way, just quick, if there's any Norwich or Cambridge fans watching, please, for my own sanity, come on, so I can take the piss. Josh, you know my issue. You both.
I keep forgetting you guys don't like Cambridge either.
Yeah, we don't.
Well, I don't.
It's funny because one of my biggest YouTube collaborations this season has been with Cambridge YouTuber himself, Alfie.
I don't mind him, though. To be fair,
he says the exact same things about Ipswich. He sends me voice notes saying he sent me voice notes in December, just going, mate, you'll be fine. You'll go up. Ipswich will bottle it like they do every year. You'll be fine. But you didn't bottle it. So we both didn't bottle it. So there we go. Wednesday were the ones that bottled it at the end. But
Alfie, how you nearly got relegated, lad.
I know he cannot stand Ipswich.
Alfie, how you nearly got relegated, lad, and you said we bottled it.
To be fair, I'm glad they stayed up. I wanted one of Cambridge or Morecambe to do it because the only team I wanted going down was MK Dons, and they did go. So
I wanted Cambridge to go down just so I can go watch him at Colchester because it was fucking hilarious.
That's another team. Another team we hate, by the way.
The team you guys wanted staying up was Morecambe.
I'd love someone to stay up so Cambridge went down. But hey.
Yeah, I just wanted MK down, and they did go down. So I was happy.
If Morecambe knew how to fucking score, then they survived.
Yeah, they would have. Yeah.
To be fair, I think Morecambe could have stayed up this season. I just think they've left it far too late.
They're the three teams. The three teams we hate: Norwich, Cambridge, Colchester.
Oh yeah, of course. Colchester. Well, every time we play Colchester, we call it the Carl Dugard Derby because he's been a legend at both clubs. Yeah. So there we go.
That's a hell of a name. That's a name for the past. That what a player he was.
But I mean, I've never done Colchester away, but everyone said it's an absolutely dreadful away day, Colchester.
I tell you now. You ain't missing much. It's on the fucking motorway.
Jack, if you get Colchester away in the FA Cup, if they somehow miraculously get to the FA Cup third round,
yeah.
Colchester's a shithole. I'm just telling you.
That reminds me of. Do you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of Alex Griffin's early predictions before his actual predictions himself of this season. And someone just tweeted him a comment about Colchester, and he just edited it he just edited it like this in a sort of squeaky voice, going "Oh fuck it, Switch Colchester are gonna tear League Two apart." And he just deliberately edited that. And I was there thinking that just shows how much they cannot stand Colchester.
I'll tell you what about Colchester. Josh will know. You know when we played them in the League Cup? And obviously they beat us. I was sat in a McDonald's up in Scotland with my family on holiday.
I remember the year Colchester. I remember the year Colchester played Norwich at Carrow Road and they thrashed them 7-1.
That was hilarious.
Paul Lambert in charge, and then weeks later, Paul Lambert goes to Norwich, and the rest is history.
Yeah, but then there's the other Essex club, Southend, and everyone says Southend's a freaking brilliant away day. And you know what?
I don't mind Southend.
You know what? I wouldn't mind if we got a lower-ish team in the FA Cup. That's someone I'll take any day of the week away from home.
I wouldn't mind Kings Lynn. I don't know why.
The one positive we can both take from this year is we don't have to play in the shitty Papa John's Trophy.
Can't lie, guys. I can't lie, guys. I can't lie, guys. I think it'd be the same if you got Torquay away in the FA Cup, because I can't lie. I think it's such an underrated away day.
Yeah. You know? We're quite big on Speedway. Keys Lynn's our rival. I don't think we've ever played Keys Lynn in a competitive game.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like
football wise.
You know what's interesting? I reacted to obviously us facing Exeter, of course, this season in League One, and obviously pain in the arse that they got promoted, of course. But to be fair, I did react to it thinking, to be honest, I reacted to it thinking, I'll take it that they've come up because the derby's back. So it's something to always be excited for. As long as we thrash them this season, then I'm happy. And thankfully, we did the double over them.
We've been drowned of a derby for 4 years, but it's back, boy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, yeah, I looked at that thinking, to be honest, I think I know Ipswich Norwich is going to be on Sky. So I know if there's a day where I know I'm not doing anything, I can do a live stream. I'll probably do a live stream of the match, to be honest.
You should go. Honestly, atmosphere.
I'd love to, but I know I won't get a ticket. So,
hey,
I'm sure we can.
Unless someone's able to get me a ticket, I'll experience an East Anglian derby. That'd be class.
I'm sure we can work something out. Me and Ben know some contacts at the club. So
there's always a little holiday here on the corner. Just get a room
Well, for a video idea that I'm hoping to release over the summer, before I went to the Ipswich away day, I actually briefly visited Norwich's stadium, and I know, of course, they have that Holiday Inn as well. Yeah. But Alex Griffin a few years ago, you guys might have seen this video already. Alex Griffin a few years ago made that video called "I Went to a Norwich Game in My Ipswich Shirt."
Yeah,
and I knew the weekend Exeter faced Accrington Stanley. Argyle had nothing on, so I knew I wasn't doing anything that weekend. So I was like,
"That was so good."
I wonder what video idea I do this weekend then.
That was so good. I love that.
Do you think you'd have got if you'd have been near the right people? Do you think you could have got hurt if you'd have done that? If you'd have turned up to an Exeter game in the Plymouth top? Is the derby that bad?
I mean, obviously, the last thing I wanted was to be hurt, of course. But no, that's why I hid it for most of it because I didn't want their fans to
That's what Griffin did
to think most of it. But I had my coat on over the top of it anyway. But yeah, I just knew that entire day I just had to be careful on who I spoke to, and the ones that I knew that were going to be reasonable, I'll just tell them I'm an Argyle fan. So.
Griffin hid his phrases, and when he's doing interviews, I went, "I'm an Ipswich fan." They were like, "Get out."
He's done it.
Yeah, well, when I did that. The first reaction I had was an Exeter fan going, "Oh, fair enough," and then he just said, "Well, hopefully we'll spank you when you come here." And I was there thinking, well, I hope not. And I just said, I'm literally here because I don't think I'm going to get a ticket for the derby. So there we go.
Do you know what? If I can try and get your ticket for the East Anglian derby, if you can't get a Plymouth away game,
you know what? If it's on a different day to Argyle that weekend, I'll consider going because it's a derby at the end of the day. I just want to enjoy the experience.
The atmosphere at those derbies are honestly insane.
Like we're not just saying this. I
did a ranking of the top 10 best derbies in the whole country, and I know I've put Ipswich Norwich in the top 10 anyway.
Honestly, atmosphere at Portland Road is dead most of the time, but not on derby day. It's the best time to be in
town. As soon as Norwich come in town, you cannot move.
I can't lie. My favourite chant from you guys about Norwich is your "went to war with Norwich" one. It's just too funny. It's so good.
I'll tell you what,
we haven't sang that in ages, you know. We haven't sang that in ages.
Well, you will next season.
The most funny thing is about that chant? Do you know what the funny thing is about that chant? Is I'm a Catholic, so whenever we sing that song, that always makes me chuckle. I was like, yes, the Pope's away, man. Love it.
Jack, the best moment about today was Harry Clark took the mic and he went, "What do you think of Norwich?" It's so good.
All the players dodged it, and he was the one that were like, yes, with the statues.
Harry Clark's so good. He's Ipswich born and bred, so he just loves it.
Mate, Harry Clark fist bump in front of the Barclay.
I did react to this season though, saying to myself, I swear to God, I know they're in the National League, but if Torquay were in League One this season, it would make League One so much more amazing than the lineup already is. And we would have had a South Devon derby then as well.
So what is your actual derby? Is Exeter the main one, or is it like Torquay? Or
well, the Devon derby goes three ways between us, Exeter, and Torquay, but it's mainly us and Exeter that have the hatred for each other. Torquay,
it's a bit like us.
it's like the Lincolnshire derby because Lincoln Grimsby, that goes three ways between Lincoln, Grimsby, and Scunthorpe, but it's mainly Lincoln and Grimsby that have the hatred for each other. Scunthorpe's like the third wheel or something, but
it's a bit like
the same with Torquay for down here. But
we're part of a win. What I always
Torquay's biggest rivals are Exeter, so they actually don't mind us to that extent. But obviously, if they played us, they'd obviously can't stand us. And I know there is a few Torquay fans out there who absolutely despise us which is understandable to be fair, because it is the derby, of course. But yeah, obviously because we haven't played Torquay since 2014, so I think that's also the reason why we have a much more bigger hatred for Exeter right now.
Yeah, don't disagree.
I blame it.
But
do you have any questions?
It really just depends. Torquay's one of those where I love the away day. If I had to choose between them and Exeter, I'd rather them do well than Exeter any day of the week. But if we played Torquay in a match, I'd be like, yeah, just absolutely fuck off for a massive 90 minutes. So because it is the derby after all. So all that really. But we do secretly team together when it's about Exeter. So yeah.
I've got a question on the derby day, because when we always play Norwich, the sun always comes out. Is it the same for you? It's always the way. Derby day comes round, the weather's perfect, and then the result happens. For us, it's normally a defeat.
Oh, for me, it just depends. But for me, it's just the atmosphere. Like the minute we faced Exeter, they started chanting that stupid chant. I don't know if they chanted it when they played you guys as well, both times. But they start this.
Do you know what? I didn't even hear them.
They start this stupid chant called "We're all from Exeter." We're all from Exeter, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up, you arrogant sods.
Well, do you know what, Jack? They were so quiet.
Wow!
I don't think they.
You know what's interesting? That actually surprises me because I know they can be really noisy as well.
Yeah, they were crap. They were crap. Maybe because they were 5-0 down after 31 minutes, but you know.
Yeah. What's your opinion on I'm trying to think of the lad's name now. He scored that chant yesterday.
Yeah, one of their chants is, "We're all from Exeter, who fucking knew? We're all from Exeter, who fucking knew?" I'm just like, shut the fuck up, you're so arrogant.
I'm sorry.
What the hell is that?
Such a shit
I
know,
it's so egotistical in every single way. And one of their chants about us is, we built our Roman walls to keep the Argyle out and the Cornish out. I'm just like, fuck off, honestly.
I tell you what, I do rate that song. It's quite good.
Because the problem is, and this is why I have a hatred for the Romans, because they think the country ends in Exeter when it doesn't. It actually goes further on to Plymouth and Cornwall. So there we go.
Yeah.
Jack, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah.
Some questions for you guys, but as it stands, how do you think you'll do next season in the Championship?
You want to go first, Ben? Do you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first, because I'm only thinking, Tom.
How do I think we'll do in the Championship? Add 3 or 4 new additions, and we'll get top 6.
Fair enough. You know what? It's not out of the question. Like you said, Sunderland have done it this season, so it doesn't mean you can't.
I think without additions, I'll be happy with 12. With additions, 5th.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll tell you what, I bloody hope Sunderland don't go up, because I so want to do that away day next season.
I mean, let's be honest, if bloody Coventry and Sunderland can make it, like, we've got everything.
And Luton.
I hope Luton go up, and that's mainly because I hope Luton go up, and that's mainly because if they go up, that gives us as a club another inspiration on that we can make it to the Premier League one day.
Yeah,
I really want Luton to stay down, partly because I've got family that live down that way.
Oh, fair enough.
So it's fairly easy.
Do you know what? I kind of want Sunderland to go up because they're such an awkward team for us. We always struggle.
That's a bogey. Them and Watford are, for me, my 2 bogey sides, because
we beat Watford.
Yeah, we lost 2-1 at
Yeah.
Sunderland last season, and then at home we should have beaten them, but it was a 0-0 draw. So
I wouldn't mind if
it was
Sunderland got
another
out of this,
game that cost us the playoffs. But it was that is what it is at the end of the day.
just give us. I think for me, I've got the thought process of give us all the fairly local ones, so it's an easy away day. And just fuck off all the far ones.
Yeah,
Like Sunderland go up.
I'd take that.
Give us a local one.
The only far one's going to be Plymouth. That's the only one I do.
Yeah.
Do you want to know why, Josh?
I mean, if Middlesbrough stay in the Championship as well, that's another really far away day for us as well. But I'll do it any day of the week because that's another ground I really want to tick off.
Do you know what I think? I actually think
one of my mates in the playoffs.
I actually think they'll do it in the playoffs.
I think Middlesbrough will win the playoff final. Personally, yeah,
I
want Luton to do it. I so want Luton to do it, but I think it will be Borough.
Let's talk Championship for a little bit because that's obviously what league we're in.
Obviously, yeah, that's. We're no longer League One club. We're both back to where we belong in the second.
How good does that sound, bro? How good does that sound?
Exactly.
I've got a little prediction for League One next year.
Oh, go on.
Oh, go on.
Reading will bounce straight back up.
Oh, okay.
They've got it.
Interesting show.
I think they will bounce up.
Do you want to guess who I've gone with?
Another question. I'm not going to guess because you put it in the Discord.
I'm not in this Discord, so I don't know.
Yeah, you guess, Ben. You guess, Ben. Speaking of which, before you guess, actually, and it's the same with anyone in the chat. If anyone wants to join the my new Discord server, the Argyle Way Discord server, by all means, please do. It's not just going to be Plymouth Argyle fans. It's going to be fans all across the country of English football. Josh is in it, of course, representing Ipswich, as well as a few Ipswich fans in there. Feel free to join anyone, and same with you, Ben, if you want to join.
If you send a link to Josh, and he can send it over.
Yeah, I'll send the Discord link to the chat actually.
Another question.
You want to? I'll send it in a minute. But yeah, do you want to guess who I've gone with?
All right, I'm going to try and narrow it down, make my life easier. Is it one of the relegated sides?
No, it's not.
It's actually not.
Bollocks.
And all I'm going to say is it's definitely not Wigan. And I'll tell you that now. I genuinely think Wigan's going to struggle next season.
Yeah, I do as well. I actually do.
That's made my life hard. Is it? I'm going to ask one more. Is it one of the teams in the top 6?
No.
Close. It's in the top 10 though, so I will say that.
Ooh.
It's been mentioned tonight as well. It's been mentioned tonight as well, by the way.
How far back?
I was talking about atmosphere and how it felt.
Oh, Portsmouth.
No, it's not Pompey.
I swear it was.
I mean, it's the best atmosphere, yeah, but that's not who I think is going to win League One next season. No.
I don't think so. See, this is a test of my knowledge, but I haven't got a fucking clue.
Talking about winning League One. I've got a good shout for winning League One, but I'm not going to say so. You guys.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Winning League One. I don't think Portsmouth's going to win League One. No. If they do it, then fair play to them.
That would be incredible.
I'm just going to. This is going to be my last guess, so I haven't got a fucking clue. Is it Wickham under Matt Bloomfield?
It's not Wickham. No, I think Wickham will struggle.
I don't know. Season. I just chucked the name out there.
I think Wickham will struggle next season, and I think Bloomfield will go. Early prediction, but I genuinely, and I know there's been links with this as well. I think Wickham will struggle throughout the start of next season, and they'll get rid of Bloomfield. And I think QPR will have a terrible start to the Championship next season, and Ainsworth will go, and then he'll go back to Wickham.
I'll tell you what with Bloomfield.
Back to Wickham.
He should have stayed. Bloomfield should have stayed at Colchester.
Yeah.
Seen this year out.
Yeah, he was doing well at Colchester as well.
Yeah, he was.
Getting next year done. And then see where he's at, because he's jumped straight into Wickham and he's got to have a massive transition. And he's going to struggle to get plays in next year. Massively.
Do you know what I think, right, is Blackpool fans are going, oh, we're going to win the league, blah, blah, blah. But Derby did that. They ain't going to do shit. Wigan will struggle.
I think Wigan will struggle, really do.
Reading will get top 6, but I don't.
I think Reading will get top 6, but I don't think they'll win it.
No, I don't think they'll get top 2.
But the thing is, a lot of people in their predictions always somehow predict, if a championship side gets relegated or a Premier League side gets relegated, etc., they're going to go straight back up, and it just doesn't always work like that.
No, you're 100% correct. I think one of the teams that doesn't go up from the playoffs this year, I'm going to say Barnsley go up because that's who I think is going to win. Okay, so Barnsley go up. I think Bolton will get top 2.
So do I. So do I.
If they don't go up next year,
I agree.
And I think Derby will get top 6 next year because they just will. Because
Bolton
Right,
I will say this now. Bolton is who I have to finish second in League One next season. So that's all I'm going to say. So, do you want to keep guessing, Ben, or shall I just reveal it?
Just reveal it because
it's Derby. It is Derby. And the reason why it's Derby, it's not because they're one of the favourites, and I know they're going to be one of the favourites next season. Yeah. The reason why I think Derby's going to win League One next season is because the way they've missed out this season reminds me exactly on how we missed out last season. And also, Paul Warne is such a top manager. I think he'll be well up for it next season.
I think of Derby.
And in all fairness, there's half that squad's not even Paul Warne's.
Yeah, that's why I think Derby will win it next season.
I don't disagree. Yeah.
I think Reading could do well. I probably don't think they'll win the league.
But if Wednesday don't go up, I think they'll give Derby a run for their money.
I think whoever stays in the playoffs, I think whoever gets into the final and loses could win the league because they'll want to go out.
Yeah, I can back that. I can back that. I've got a feeling it's going to be Wednesday. I've got a feeling it's going to be Wednesday.
Yeah. What, to come up or lose?
To lose in the final.
I don't think they'll get to the final.
Ooh, okay. Fair enough.
I still think they're going to go up, but if they don't go up, then I think next season's going to be between them, Derby, and Bolton all the way.
I think if they don't go up, if Wednesday don't go up, I think they'll struggle and they'll sack down more. Because their owners aren't going to be happy.
See, this is where I see Wednesday go up this season, the next season, because I said to someone on Discord, I said, if Wednesday don't go up this season, watch them possibly have a same season next season as this season, and it's the same old, and they'll just never get anywhere. But this is the other reason why I personally think us and Ipswich went up over Wednesday. Because half of their fan base don't even trust Darren Moore at all. Even when Darren Moore was flying with Wednesday in their flying January, February, early March periods, but when they went 23 games unbeaten. Whereas us two, on the other hand, where I'm pretty sure 99.9% of both of our fan bases are behind both Schumacher and McKenna.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can tell you 100% of Ipswich is behind McKenna, actually.
Yeah, and it's the same with us with Shuey.
Well, I know one of our fans that weren't totally behind McKenna.
Well, 2 actually.
Well, 2.
Yeah, but now they are.
Yeah, they're going to touch.
It's 100% now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Blackpool next season will either just miss out on the playoffs or they'll just sneakily get in.
It depends who they get in.
Yeah, it also depends who they get.
Yeah, I think that is true.
I have a few dark horses though for League One next season so far.
Portsmouth, they'll get up 6.
I've got Pompey 7th at the moment, but I don't know. I'm so stuck between choosing Pompey or Blackpool for that 6th place.
I've got 2 dark horses, and both of them are really, really weird. And you're going to be sat there like, what?
You're going to say Orient, aren't you?
No.
Orient is one of my dark horses, funny enough.
Orient was in my dark horse, and then I fought against it. Orient's only my dark horse if that's how I'm calling one.
They might, though.
My other dark horses, and you guys might be a bit surprised about this, but my other dark horse is Charlton next season.
Oh, I don't know.
And that's because I think even though I know them and their fans are hating their ownerships right now, of course, and understandably so. But I know they're on about getting a new takeover.
Again.
But also, I know that Garner sacking was absolutely ridiculous. But ever since Dean Holden's come in, they've been, apart from their awful games, of course, they've been really impressive. I think the only awful game they've really, really had under Holden was when they lost 6-0 to you guys.
I've got some breaking news. I don't know if you two have seen.
Oh,
Cole Stockton is leaving Morecambe.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't surprise
So
me.
that could change. You know, it doesn't surprise me, but that could change a few positions.
It does surprise me now they're in League Two.
I don't want us to sign him regardless. Anyway, I want us to sign someone like Alfie May or Aaron Collins.
Cole Stockton's not a championship striker for me.
Exactly, and he's not a championship striker as well.
Do you want to hear one of my dark horses?
Go on.
Go on.
One of my dark horses is Oxford.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Because,
you know what though? It would be typical Oxford though, wouldn't it? If they had such a poor season, and next season they're flying or something.
But also, I know what Liam Mann is like, and if he gets a squad that he's happy with, then he's away. Look at the job he done at MK first year.
That's very true. That's very true.
And then my other one's Cambridge. I don't know why. As much as I hate them, I do think if they get investment and they spend it well, they could surprise a few teams.
I know Charlton are going to find it really hard to keep hold of Raksaki, obviously, for next season. I know Ipswich are already linked with them as well.
Anyway,
but
so we'll go back to Palace.
I think if Charlton keep Dobson next season, their midfield engine, and they keep putting in performances like they have done under Dean Holden, and their ownership gets better next season, I can genuinely see them get top 6.
Ben, I can't back your Cambridge as dark horses, lad.
That's more based on if they keep Sam Smith. If they keep Sam Smith,
I can't back it.
That one was more just a piss take. My dark horses.
But the team that I think will go down from League One next season to League Two, and I purely think this because of that they sacked him at the worst time possible at the end of this season, is Port Vale.
Mm-hmm. I've got 2 teams I think could go down. One of them's Charlton. The other one's
Charlton.
Charlton and Wigan.
Fair enough. You know what though? If Charlton do go down to League Two though, then they will join the club of us, Bolton, Portsmouth, and Blackpool into thinking, why the hell are we down here? But
could be
to be fair, considering their ownership, it wouldn't shock me.
That's what I'm thinking.
It could be quite
good.
It
could be the reset that they need.
Yeah.
Because you look at it like you. I know it took you a bit longer, but you, Portsmouth, Blackpool done it, I think, in a few seasons.
Yeah, Blackpool.
You hit the reset button. Yeah. You hit the reset button, and you came up, and then you've done well for a few seasons. You built on that because each year you progressed. Well, where we were coming from, obviously, we spent 17 years championship football.
Yeah.
And then where did we finish? 11.
And then it all happened 11th, in 2019. 9th. Yeah.
And then we done it.
Decent dark horses. Yeah. Then that's
well. My other one, if I had to choose another one, my other one is Burton, and that is because Dino Manmaria has been absolutely incredible this second half of the season.
I'll tell you what.
But the only thing with Burton is it depends if they keep hold of their squad. If
Burton can get, and I know he's ours at the minute, if Burton can get Gassan Hadmi.
Oh God.
No. Who do you think I was going to say?
No, I know you were going to say. I just didn't want you to say it.
Who?
I didn't want you to say that Hadmi. It's just terrible, but go on.
No, but I'm saying, but for them, he's decent. If they can keep the Hadmi, they've got an striker for them.
Let me remove your other one. Hang on.
Yeah, that's all right. No, I've changed the computer. Yeah. I'll just make sure I have my phone. It's because my Wi-Fi on my computer has been really shocking for some reason. Let me just turn the echo off. I apologise on this.
No worries. We're good now?
I think it's just if I move it.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh.
I think that's done it. Yeah, has done it. Okay, right, that's all right. No,
We're good.
I didn't want to press the wrong button by accident where it freaking ended the stream by accident. I've been so mad at myself.
Well,
And I've done that before by accident as well. So no, thank God I pressed the right button. But yeah,
Don't
no,
think
that's.
don't think you can at the stream, can you?
Yeah.
No, I've sorted it now. So no, I've exited it from my phone and now I'm on my laptop. So yeah.
Sweet. Well, I'm not going to be much longer because my phone's dying.
Oh, that's right. I've got all evening to be fair anyway. But what I'll do is for the time being, I will send the Argyle Way Discord into the comment section.
I'll watch the show back and do it.
Yeah, you can click live chat.
So yeah, if you do, because we've currently got, I think we've currently got 4 Ipswich fans in there at the moment. So yeah, if you join, Ben, you will be the 5th Ipswich fan on there.
Decent.
Right, let's give me your away ground you're most looking forward to for next year.
For goodness sake.
And then we'll start.
Obviously for you guys, it's going to be Norwich, isn't it? Of course, but
yeah,
of course.
I'm going to say for us, definitely QPR, one of them. Ainsworth's the manager, and also as Chelsea's my second favourite team, I cannot stand Queen's Park Rangers for that obvious reason.
Fair enough.
What is it with Ainsworth and you? Like, did Ainsworth used to play for?
I think no, it's because Wickham is ever since we've played Wickham in like around the 2014 days, they just haven't stopped playing because Ainsworth has been at Wickham since 2012. Yeah. They just haven't stopped playing that anti-VAR football ever since then. But also Ainsworth and our manager Derek Adams at the time had a bit of a rivalry as well, so there's a bit of that as well. But no, we've just as a club just cannot stand playing them, and I'm so glad we're not playing them next season. So yeah,
Ben, other than Norwich,
yeah,
the QPR's one of them.
And what away day are you most looking forward to other than Norwich, Ben?
The cop-out is any away day we use. Obviously, you know my situation, so I'll take it for it.
But I'm not having that as an answer.
I know not. I think for me,
other than Scum away, obviously.
Other than Scum, you bastard. I think if they stay down, wait, what am I about if they stay down? They're all just staying down. Keep you up.
You want to keep your as well, are you?
Yeah, I think it's an old school ground like us.
It is, yeah, it is Loftus Road. They got the same capacity as us as well.
And I've got pretty good memories of John Walters and co beating a fairly decent QBR side at that point.
I've done QPR 3 times.
Shite. Yeah.
I've done QPR 3 times. Days, mate. And the one I'm most looking forward to is one I've done once before already, and that is Southampton. I want to do Southampton.
I've never been to Southampton.
That's another one I have done before. Obviously, I did my master's degree in Southampton, so it's not a bad away day, to be fair. It's not Portsmouth, though. It's so much better for an away day. But it is because obviously, as I know St Mary's so well, it is another one I'm looking forward to from an Argyle perspective on that as well. And I know how much we'll take to Southampton next season as well, considering it's not far from us at all. I'd say another one I'm looking forward to. I'm going to be honest. Now that they're staying down, is West Brom. My brother's a Wolves fan, so there is that as well. But yeah, it's just such a nice stadium, though, isn't it? The Hawthorn. So it's one I've always wanted to do. But there's few. Watford's another one I'm really looking forward to next season. That'll be an iconic ground to go to, Vicarage Road.
Watford.
And then also now that they're not. Oh, by the way, Forest has scored a 4th goal. It's currently 4-2 at the City Grounds. But now that they're staying down because they've completely bottled playoffs today, I'm now really excited for the Den next season. Millwall.
That'll be a good one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we are
2 hours
quite
5. Go on.
We are quite similar in terms of one I'm quite looking forward to, and it all depends on when the EFL decide to put it on, is actually home park. Because I think
fair enough.
I actually am.
As long as it's not, as long as it's not bloody middle of January, I've already said to Josh that I'll come down if train tickets don't decide to absolutely rinse my bank account. But it's the same with anyway, isn't it? As long as your train ticket don't rinse anything, you'll be all right.
That's it.
No, if I was going to say the other question I got for you guys is what is your favourite away day of this season, regardless that you have done this season?
Well, Ben's not done any, so he can't tell you that.
Well, hang on, I've done one.
Both answers. Both answers. Not just the result, but also just the away day in general.
Ben's only done one. That's Cambridge away and Papa John, so that's his answer.
Yeah, that was about the last.
Mine
we've got
scores on that. Mine's gonna be MK Dons.
Oh, fair enough.
Because we won.
It's only because we both went up there last year and saw a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, and I went up there this year and saw a 1-0 win. And the other three I've been to have been draws. So that'd be my favourite.
That makes sense.
That's true.
Yeah, and then whereas for me, obviously, my favourite away day as an away day itself is 100% Fratton Park, Portsmouth. But in terms of the results, I know I couldn't do it, but if I was there, it would have been Derby, of course, because that 3-2 away win was amazing. And we turned it around after being 2-0 down. But of the ones I've done this season, myself, it's Shrewsbury, 100%. And funny enough, it is my third favourite away day in League One, as it is, because it's right near where some of my family live right now. And it's a really underrated ground and away day, in my opinion. They're not a bad atmosphere at all, Salop. So there's that as well. But in terms of just the way the game was as well, that's in terms of the result that I've been to, then it has to be Shrewsbury, because that was just special. You can't beat an over 90th minute winner, honestly, like that.
No, that's very true.
And I think that was the game that sent us up.
I'm so frustrated at that result, because obviously we beat.
I get why though, from your point of view, because I know in the Port Vale home game, you guys were probably thinking Plymouth are dropping points, so this is good news for us. But obviously I understand, of course, but no, that winner just felt so special. Honestly,
I saw the scoreline. I saw it was 1-1. I come out the ground. I meet up with Josh. We look at the result, and it's 2-1 to Plymouth, and we both had this. We both had the same reaction of "fuck this team."
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Go away. But fair play.
But they probably
won a title.
You know what though? That was my reaction. Do you remember when Derby beat Port Vale away 2-1 when they were 1-0 down, and then they scored 2 goals out of nowhere like that? That was my reaction as well, because I thought, because this January, this was back when Derby were the best team in the league on form as well, and I reacted to that, and I saw Port Vale were 1-0 up, and I was like, this is doing us a massive favour. Come on, Vale. Because everyone tipped Derby to catch us three at the top in the automatics race. And then Derby just turned it around like that, and I just threw my chair because I just couldn't believe it. I thought Vale were really going to do us a favour, but they didn't. They completely blew it in the end.
That was literally like me yesterday. I flipped on Soccer Saturday, and I thought, Port Vale 1 up, started celebrating. And I looked across, and it was 3rd minute. I thought, fuck, there's still 87 minutes to go. What's the point?
Yeah.
Right, lads.
They actually scored a second goal. Vale actually scored a second goal, but it was offside.
I saw the highlights yesterday, and I thought, how unlucky can you be?
As much as I've enjoyed this chat, my phone has died. I'm going to have to cut it short. Either of you like to do an outro for me? I know you're
I think you guys know what my outro is like anyway, so
you're still welcome to do it, Jack, as the guest if you want.
It's up to you. It's funny because when I did it in my Argyle Way preview in January for Ipswich with Alex Griffin, I said at the end, I was like, oh, I've got to end this now with up the greens, up the Argyle. And he just went, oh no, up the Upper Town. So yeah, if you want me to do the outro, I will do the outro. So of course, as we all know, guys, this is a stream of the 2 best football clubs of League One this season, and deservedly so going up: Plymouth Argyle and Ipswich Town. both of us are now championship clubs. We'll be back in the championship next season. 13 long years for us, 4 long years for Ipswich. And it's so excited already for next season and what it's going to bring us and etc. We're both really excited, and we're really both hoping we're going to pull some surprises on a lot of teams in the championship next season. So there's that as well. But either way, it's been a fantastic season for us both, and I've just got to end it on how much of a brilliant season it has been, honestly. And I've just got to end it with the usual. Up the Janners, up the Argyle, up the Greens, up the Pilgrims, up the Plymouth. Come on, you boys in green. And yeah, just a phenomenal season for us both, honestly.
Up the Town.
Up the Town.